It's 11 p.m. Your inbox is overflowing, Slack messages keep coming in, and yet another project update is due tomorrow. You sigh, rub your eyes, and wonder, is this just part of the job, or am I burning out? If you're a project manager, you've probably been there. The deadlines, the pressure, the endless juggling. It's exhausting. And today, we're talking about something that doesn't get discussed enough. The dark side of project management, overwork, stress, and burnout. In this video, we'll dive into why project management is so prone to burnout, the warning signs you need to watch out for, and most importantly, how to protect yourself before it's too late. So, if you've ever felt overwhelmed, stressed, or completely drained by your work, stick around, click the like button, and let's go. Why project management is prone to overwork and stress. Let's be real. Project management is one of the most stressful jobs out there. It's fast-paced, high-pressure, and full of competing demands. In fact, 82% of project managers say they've worked overtime in the last 6 months. And over 60% say they feel constantly stressed at work. Why is that? Well, just think about what the job requires. Unrealistic deadlines. Everything is urgent, always. Constant context switching. You're managing multiple projects, jumping between tasks all day. Difficult stakeholders, dealing with different expectations, egos, and last-minute changes. Never-ending emails and meetings. There's barely any time left to do the actual work. What's your biggest stressor in project management? Is it deadlines, workload, or maybe difficult clients? Drop a comment below. The signs and symptoms of burnout. Imagine this. You wake up already exhausted. You can't focus. You're snapping at your team over small things. Work that used to excite you now feels like a chore. These are all warning signs of burnout. And they don't just affect your work. They impact your mental and physical health too. Things to watch out for. Constant fatigue, no matter how much you sleep. Feeling emotionally drained or detached. Increased mistakes or lack of focus. Dreading work, avoiding tasks, or procrastinating. Frequent headaches, tension, or even physical exhaustion. According to a Deloitte study, 77% of professionals say they've experienced burnout at some point in their careers. And the worst part? More than half of them say their company does nothing to help. At Project Booster, we have many more useful content about project change and team management. Subscribe now to stay updated and never miss any new videos. The root causes of burnout in project management. Now, let's break down why burnout happens in the first place. Scope creep and unrealistic deadlines. Ever had a project start small, and before you know it, it's turned into a massive, never-ending workload? Stakeholders keep adding just one more thing, and suddenly, your entire timeline is a disaster. Poor work-life balance. Raise your hand if you've ever worked late nights or weekends just to stay afloat. Project managers are expected to be always on, and that makes it nearly impossible to unplug. Micromanagement and lack of autonomy. Nothing drains motivation faster than a boss who doesn't trust you to do your job. Micromanagement equals stress, frustration, and eventually burnout. Lack of recognition and support. PMs are the glue holding projects together. But when things go well, who gets the credit? The team? The executives? Rarely the project manager. Over time, that lack of appreciation can really wear you down. How to prevent and manage burnout. Here's something you need to hear. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly running on fumes, your projects and your health will suffer. So how do you keep burnout at bay? Set boundaries. Stop answering emails at midnight. Seriously, you need to turn off notifications after work. Set specific times for deep work and block your calendar to avoid distractions. Let your team know when you're unavailable and practice saying, "Let's discuss this tomorrow," instead of reacting to every message immediately. Master time management. Techniques like time blocking or the Eisenhower matrix can help you stay focused. Prioritize high-impact tasks over everything else and avoid back-to-back meetings. Apply the 80-20 rule, focusing on the 20% of tasks that will get you 80% of the results. That way, you'll get more done in less time. Delegate like a pro. You don't have to do everything yourself. Start assigning tasks and trusting your team. Remember the 70% rule. If someone can do the job well enough, let them handle it. And for tasks you do over and over, automate them. It'll save you so much time. Push back on unrealistic deadlines. Advocate for realistic timelines. When you're given tight deadlines, ask, do you want it fast or do you want it done right? Use data from past projects to show how long tasks typically take and propose solutions like adding more resources or shifting priorities. Manage expectations and say no when necessary. Be upfront about your workload. Under-promise, over-deliver. It'll protect you from stress. If you're already at capacity, don't be afraid to say, "I'd love to help, but I'm at my limit right now." Prioritize your health. Burnout isn't worth it. Make sure to get at least 7 hours of sleep and stay hydrated. Eating well fuels your energy, and making time for rest will help you perform at your best. Remember, your health always comes first, even before the projects. Last but not least, if your work culture ignores burnout, it might be time to ask yourself, is this job worth my health? How to recover from burnout. If you're already feeling burned out, recovery won't happen overnight. But here's where you can start. Steps to reset. Take a break, even if it's just a weekend to unplug. Reassess your workload. What can you eliminate, automate, or delegate? Have an honest conversation with your manager about your workload. Invest in self-care, exercise, meditation, or just fully unplugging from work. Burnout doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've been carrying too much for too long. It's time to take back control. We've learned that burnout in project management is real, but it's not inevitable. To avoid burnout, you really need to master one important skill. That's why I created a video on how to master assertiveness, a guide with techniques. It's packed with tips on how being more assertive can help you reduce stress and manage your workload more effectively. Check this out.